The Cage of Emancipation Within the Red Leviathan by Edison Pinto Coelho. Poor Philosophy Channel. Supporting socialism is neither a neutral nor innocent gesture. It is to repeat, in a modern key, the Hobbesian pact. To exchange uncertainty for security, but at the cost of freedom. Just as the subject who fears violent death kneels before the absolute sovereign, the activist who fears the contingency of the market submits to the administrative Leviathan, convinced that the state can protect against the whims of history. The fear of recession, unemployment, and inequality transforms into a passport for bureaucratic guardianship. The promise of emancipation dissolves into obedience. The result is not liberation, but subordination. Weber accurately described the iron cage of instrumental rationality, and nothing fits real socialism better than this metaphor. What presents itself as a project for universal justice quickly degenerates into total planning, reports, targets, and directives that justify themselves as applied social science, but function as pure routine domination. Politics, with its risk and vitality, is replaced by administration. Plural debate is replaced by technical norms. Autonomy is replaced by loyalty to bureaucratic procedures. Individuals cease to exist as citizens and begin to operate as employees of a machine whose logic they cannot question. Marx intended for the socialization of the means of production to be a transition to abolish class exploitation. In practice, it became the opposite. Permanent centralization. The bourgeoisie gave way to the nomenclatura, and alienation persisted under a new guise. The promise of human emancipation turned into obedience to a management committee. There was no overcoming of domination, but only a change of uniform. The socialism that proclaims itself revolutionary emerges to perpetuate dependency, no longer on the market, but on the public administrator, transformed into a master of lives. Here is the paradox. Those who proclaim becoming, constant change, embrace rigid and static structures, trusting that the dam of a 5-year plan can realize Heraclitus's fluidity. They exchange the river for the dam, movement for shielding, openness for dogma. Socialism, instead of being an institution of freedom, becomes a factory of bureaucratic conservatism. Where there should be experimentation, orthodoxy is established. Where there should be criticism, a pedagogy of submission rises. Where there should be creative risk, the cowardice of total planning prevails. Brazil is well acquainted with this movement. From the rhetoric against wild capitalism, arrangements were born that reinforce the heaviest guardianships cloaked in state benevolence. Intellectual criticism in the name of emancipation served as a veneer for the multiplication of controls. Even the most cautious democratic socialists today admit that it is impossible to reconcile political vitality with bureaucratic capture. Yet they insist on hybrid formulas that do nothing more than prolong dependency. Recent history is clear. The promise of emancipation degenerates into paternalism, and paternalism degenerates into centralism. The truth that refuses to die is this: supporting socialism is to adhere to the administrative Leviathan, no matter how gentle the words are. It is to accept that fear justifies the unlimited surrender of power. It is to allow the iron cage to impose itself as a home. It is to call guardianship freedom and dependence emancipation. There is no more corrosive contradiction. To proclaim becoming and establish stagnation, to promise liberation and create vassals. Communism does not break chains, it swaps shackles.